What's up, Raptors fans? Welcome to the Warriors Report. It's time to talk about Nick Nurse, who has been in a lot of talks lately because of his very interesting, a little bit controversial seven-man rotation in the middle of the season. Now, we know the Raptors are missing a few guys in Cam Birch and Gary Trent due to injuries, but I also want to break down some of the crazy statistics I'm about to display for you guys and whether or not Bobby Webster, Masai Ujiri, and Nick Nurse are at a crossroad in terms of where they see the Raptors currently. So I'm going to break all of that down in today's video. So if you guys are ready to watch this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to hit the subscribe button as well, that'd be awesome. We're super close to 2,900 subscribers. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. Now, as you guys know, I do like to give out shout outs, and we got a new trivia question winner today, and that is Danu. So Danu, thank you so much for supporting this channel through likes and comments. It is very much appreciated. Now let's quickly jump into some insane stats here. Now this was tweeted out by Josh Lewenberg, and I went on to the record of saying Nick Nurse is playing his guys a little bit too heavy, but Josh Lewenberg tweeted that Fred VanVleet just became the first player in the NBA to log 40 plus minutes in 5 straight games this season. He's played 40 plus minutes 14 times, most in the league. And what is most shocking about this is not that Fred VanVleet has played that many, but more so because Pascal Siakam. So Siakam's logged 40 plus minutes 9 times, fifth most in the NBA. He didn't make his season debut till November, which is crazy, and he's played 40 plus minutes in 9 of his 13 games. Now, this is a little bit crazy because I made a video a few days ago where I talked about the Raptors bench, and they clearly need to fix that. And a lot of people were saying Nick Nurse is playing his starters heavy minutes because the bench is terrible. But you know it's a serious issue when you're having one of your main guys saying, "You guys watch the game, I'll let you make of that what you will." I'm definitely not going to make excuses, gonna make any excuses. I gotta be better. I think if I make a couple more shots, we probably sneak out the win. When he was asked if fatigue played a part of his shooting night, and I don't think it's a far stretch to say that it is definitely affecting guys like Pascal and Fred VanVleet, of course. And like I said, guys, you cannot play few players playing this style this many games in a row. And I went on to the record to say this because just the way the Raptors play is very fast-paced defense, transition game, and you're playing starters 40 plus minutes. And I want to touch upon this because Masai Ujiri, during the offseason, went on to the record to say that the Raptors are going to have a lot of painful growth this season, which is a little bit surprising because Nick Nurse keeps continuously playing the starters heavy minutes. The way Nick Nurse is playing the starters, you would think we're going to contend for the championship, yet Masai Ujiri seems like he's on another different take when he talked about the Raptors this offseason. So it's hard to tell what's going on with the Raptors and whether or not Nick Nurse is sending a mixed signal to the management to potentially get better bench pieces. We know the Raptors bench is terrible, and maybe Masai Ujiri just wants to develop the core, but maybe Nick Nurse has other ideas. Maybe there is a collision course internally within the Raptors system management between the coaches and where they see the Raptors roster. I think they're very talented. I went onto the record to say they're top 5. Obviously, that doesn't really look very nice right now because they're struggling. But when you talk about some of the struggles of Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet, a lot of his statistical wise has been down, but we also have to take into consideration this insane stat. So the Raptors have been playing, we know their starters heavy minutes, but take this into consideration. The last 4 games, Pascal Siakam has played 165 minutes out of the 192 minutes, and he's averaging 41.2 minutes played per game. And this is insane because it's affecting Fred VanVleet as well. He was on that crazy tear of where he was hitting a lot of his shots, but his field goal percentage for the season is 42.6, and the last 4 games is 31.2. So obviously, fatigue is definitely kicking in. And I think Nick Nurse, I told you guys this, as bad as the bench is, you can't tell me and justify playing a 7-man rotation in the middle of the season. In Dwayne Casey's famous words, the season is a marathon, not a sprint. You can't finish a 52-kilometer marathon by sprinting the first 10 kilometers. You're going to wear and tear, and that is what I fear will happen with the Raptors. Now, regardless of how you feel about the bench, I think Nick Nurse is wrong in the sense that he can't continue to play the starters heavy minutes. We were talking about Yuta Watanabe being such a high energy guy. So how does Yuta Watanabe go from, you know what, he has definitely struggled. I'm not trying to justify Yuta Watanabe's play as of late, but no player is going to have a perfect 82 games. They're going to have up and down games. How do you justify playing Yuta Watanabe 0 minutes the last couple games? It makes no sense. Even 5-10 minutes would be a game changer for some of the starters. You can see the fatigue kicking in, and I know a lot of people may say, well, The Raptors starters are great and the bench is not, which is why he's forced to play the starters heavy minutes. And we're trying to win now. If we played the bench, we would lose a lot more games. But take this into consideration. With the way Nick Nurse is playing the starters currently, if he continues to do this, there's absolutely no doubt one of the starters is going to have a serious injury. And if that happens, you could kiss the season goodbye because if, God forbid, if Pascal or Fred go out with an injury that leaves them out for 3+ weeks, the Raptors are going to be a plane and they might as well tank from there. So I'd rather the Raptors play some of their bench guys 10, 12 minutes a game, give the starters a little bit of a rest. They can play those guys 35 minutes, 36 minutes, but playing the way they have been the last several games is just not acceptable. And it was funny because we talked about the NBA being very biased and I should say very unfair to the Raptors when we talked about us being forced to play with 8-man rotation when we got hit by COVID protocols, we had injuries, we were rage. A lot of us Raptors fans, including myself, were angry at the NBA for letting that happen, that they would expect us to play with an 8-man rotation. Yet Nick Nurse, he's got some of his players on the bench sitting there. You don't want to play Utah, that's fine. You got Delano Banton, Malachi Flynn glued to the bench. You still have to play some of these guys. It's absolutely ridiculous that Nick Nurse continues to bury the starters such heavy minutes. And I'm honestly surprised that the Mavericks game was as close as it was because towards that third quarter, you can definitely see our starters were absolutely gassed. It's just unacceptable to be playing the starters such heavy minutes. You're going to lead to injuries and it's just not going to be good in the long run. So it's supposed to be a retooling year. If you don't want to play some rookies like Delano and Malachi, that is what it is. But at least play Yuta Watanabe. He's had a couple bad games. He's very well capable of being a decent bench piece. He may not be very consistent, but still, you need to give the starters a little bit of a break. I think it's absolutely insane what Nick Nurse is doing right now. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I do want to hear from you guys. I really do. I know you guys may not agree with my takes, which is fine, which is what makes the Warriors Report and our Raptors community here so much fun because we always get to hear different opinions of how everyone sees things and how I see things, and you can disagree with me. I love reading your guys' comments down there. So make sure to leave your thoughts down below. Do you agree with the fact that Nick Nurse is going a little bit crazy with this mad scientist that a lot of people like to call him? And I don't know if he's sending mixed signals to Masai Ujiri that we need better bench pieces. Or is Masai Ujiri right in the sense that he wants to develop some guys, but clearly Nick Nurse has other ideas. So I want to hear from you guys. Make sure to leave your thoughts below. And I do have the trivia questions for you guys today. Now this is a fairly easy one. Which of these players has won the 6th Man of the Year award? Is it A, Fred VanVleet? Is it B, Norman Powell? Is it C, Lou Williams? Or is it D, Terrence Ross? So the first person to answer this trivia question correctly in the comment section gets a shout out in my next video and have this amazing clip of Scottie Barnes. It's a mashup of him with some spectacular plays this year because he was called a screener. I believe it was by ESPN when they talked about some of the top rookies. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this long, nice bonus clip of Scottie Barnes and some of his best highlights this season. And I want to thank you guys for your support. So thank you so much for watching this video. And I hope you guys have yourselves a great day.
Doing a good job trying to give up any baskets. 103-96. Barnes. Pascal the
The song lyric in. There can't be much love for that. Barnes inside. And
3 points, a season high against Milwaukee. Raptors coming out of timeout. Here's Scottie Barnes, and Barnes won. The Raptors 64. Late in the third, Barnes from in front. Gilgeous Alexander. And Barnes.
court with guards.
Yeah, so you give up size, but when you have a lot of same-size guys and you can switch everything, and that has its own strength. Barnes finds Achua for the dunk, and Achua...
Yeah, great feel for the game, plays hard, has a great spirit about himself.
VanVleet throwing it up, whoa, that's what we mean.